Even there's one more issue, sir, I would like to bring to the notice of the Honorable Minister and the Finance Department. The net borrowing ceiling for Andhra Pradesh has been pegged at 42,472 crores for 21-22, sir. But because of the overborrowing of the previous government, when BJP and TDP were in power in our state, they had overborrowed 17,923 crores during the 14th Finance Commission time, sir. And now that net borrowing ceiling limit is being cut down, sir, which is not fair. We can't suffer because of the doings of the previous government, sir. So we request the government to not to link it, sir. And even if you see a circular which has been given by the Finance Ministry, which says that the overborrowings of the previous finance commissions will not be adjusted in the 15th Finance Commission. Even by that order what the Finance Ministry has passed, this 17,000 crores which is being cut in our net borrowing ceiling should not be adjusted in this current thing, sir, in the current 15th Finance Commission. So we also have a concern, sir. During the division of the state, Polavaram was declared a national project, sir. And it is clearly stated in the AP Reorganization Act that Polavaram project is a national project and it will be executed by the center. But if you see today, sir, the execution of the project is not going according to plan anywhere. The funds for the project are not being given in time and it is no way treated like a national project, sir. Polavaram project is the lifeline of our state, Andhra Pradesh. During the division, they said that Polavaram project will be done, sir. It was there in the AP Reorganization Act. It clearly states. But if you see, there are various issues which are coming up, sir. During the course of the project, and because of the new land acquisition rules, the cost of the project shot up. The land acquisition and R&R cost shot up, and the central government and Jal Shakti approved the cost estimate at 55,548 crores. The Technical Advisory Committee passed it in 2019, sir. But till now, the Finance Department is yet to ratify it, and it's still pending for approval from the Finance Department, which is not good, sir. It is not happening with any national project. And there is more surprising is that in any dam which is being built, or the dams which are built previously in all the national projects, nowhere the drinking water component and the irrigation component was made separate, sir. Here, they are saying that the drinking water component is not part of this, and we are going to exclude this amount, which is 4,068 crores, which is not good, sir. You can't build a dam and say it's not meant for drinking, it's only for irrigation, and if you are going to use for drinking water purpose, we are going to reduce the amount. It is not fair for the department to say this, and we demand that the drinking water be also part, like any other national project which have been done in our country. And we also demand for removal of component-wise restrictions, sir. In spite of all the restrictions we are having, during the course of the project, there will be various components which will come up based on the designs. So any change in components, now they are restricting payments, sir, which is not good. If you take, for example, a national highway project, the length of the bridge might go up, or the length of the road might go up, but still the execution happens, the whole road is completed. Nowhere they say that, no, now the component has increased, we will restrict the payment. It is not fair, sir. Why only for Polavaram they are doing like this? So we demand that a removal of component-wise restrictions for Polavaram project, which has been, the restriction has been imposed totally, really unfairly. And we also demand that the issues related to land acquisition, R&R be sorted out. So as proposed by Jal Shakti, it was requested that the LA bills be scrutinized and paid directly to the beneficiaries under DBT. But there's been extraordinary delay. The project is getting delayed. The cost of land acquisition is going up, which is a loss for the country and loss for the state, loss for the people, sir. So we demand that whatever you have promised here, you have told clearly that Polavaram is a national project and will be constructed. So we are demanding that land acquisition money be paid immediately, and we also. Jaydev ji. No, nothing goes on record.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Chairman, sir. Thank you, sir. Chairman, sir, I rise to support the additional expenditure the Honourable Finance Minister is seeking from the House through the first batch of supplementary demand for grants for 2022-23, and also the demands for excess grants for 2019-20. Sir, I will be brief and crisp since time given to me is very little. Sir, let me start with the issues of my state of Andhra Pradesh first. First is the issue that has been going on for the last 3 years, sir. The farmers of 29 villages who have given 33,000 acres of fertile agricultural land for the development of the capital city of Amaravati have been on a non-stop protest since December 2019, fighting to ensure that Amaravati is made the sole capital of the state and to ensure that the promises made by them by the Government of India are fulfilled. In a few days from now, that is on the 18th of December 2022, we are going to mark 3 years of protest. There has never before been such a long protest by farmers for their rights in the country, sir. I appeal to the Honourable Prime Minister, through the Honourable Finance Minister, to announce that Amaravati will remain the capital of AP. I also request her to provide the funds for the development of Amaravati, as all the development projects are at a standstill. Secondly, sir, I come to Polavaram, the lifeline of Andhra Pradesh, sir. The completion of the project will turn our state into a lush green state, full of crops, and also meet the drinking water requirements of the entire state. Therefore, I urge the Honourable Finance Minister to approve the revised cost estimate amount of 55,548 crores as recommended by the TAC, which includes the cost for land acquisition and R&R for the people displaced due to the project. Finally, through you, sir, I request the Honourable Finance Minister to release the funds for the 18 commitments mentioned in the AP Reorganisation Act. Through you, sir, I would like to remind the government that this is the final budget that is going to be presented before the 10-year deadline that is mentioned in the AP Reorganisation Act comes to a close. And therefore, all of the commitments legally and through the act made by this House should be completed in full by 2020. So the next budget is extremely important for us. And therefore, I request the Honourable Finance Minister to start releasing funds to ensure that all the promises made in the Act to the 5 crore people of Andhra Pradesh are fulfilled in full. Sir, I now come to the supplementary demand for grants and the demand for excess grants. Firstly, rupees 1.09 lakh crores the FM has sought for fertilizer subsidy to farmers. This increase in fertilizer subsidy is primarily due to geopolitical reasons and logistics issues that have arisen due to the Russia-Ukraine crisis. Both are major suppliers of fertilizer to India, and the war between them has disrupted the flow of fertilizers. This demand is also justified since it is meant for farmers. But here I wish to make a point that the Honourable Prime Minister, while inaugurating the Ramagundam Fertilizer Corporation, is on record saying that we need about 2.5 lakh crores for fertilizers. If you add the 1.05 lakh crores provisioned as fertilizer subsidy in the 22-23 budget, with the 1.09 lakh crores proposed now, it comes to about 2.14 lakh crores. So I would be grateful if the Honourable Minister can explain how she is going to fill the gap of around 36,000 crores, sir. The next demand is about the 30,000 crores towards payment of LPG subsidy to OMCs and the subsidy under the PM Ujjwala Yojana. This is also a welfare measure which nobody can oppose and hence justified. Sir, on the one hand, we have been pushing hard to make India Atmanirbhar, while on the other hand, we are not able to tap the resources that we have. I will give an example, sir. Andhra Pradesh, with nearly 1,000 kilometers of coastline, is having the second longest coastline in India. More than 27 billion cubic meters of natural gas reserves are yet to be recovered from inland and offshore sources in Andhra Pradesh. There are also reserves in Gujarat and the Northeast. The point is, if we are able to tap these resources, we can save huge foreign exchange and also achieve the objective of becoming Atmanirbhar. I am saying this because we import 60% of our LPG requirement from other countries. Moreover, some natural gas pipelines have also been conceived, such as the Kakinada to Vizag to Srikakulam, which was to be completed in June 2021, but not yet completed. Similarly, there was also a proposal to lay a natural gas pipeline from Kakinada to Vijayawada to Nellore as a part of the government's One Nation, One Gas Grid project. I request the Honourable Finance Minister to clear these from her ministry so that they can be completed as per the schedule, which will help in reducing our dependence on foreign countries, sir. The third major head under which the Honourable Finance Minister sought approval of this House is 16,400 crore for Narega. Well, this also cannot be objected to, since it is also a welfare measure and meant exclusively for the poor. But taking advantage of this opportunity, sir, I wish to make a couple of points on Narega. How long are we going to ask poor, unskilled labour to do manual, unskilled work, sir? Shri Narendra Modi ji, after becoming the Prime Minister, is on record saying that even after 6 decades of our independence, we are still making people dig in for their livelihood. Why cannot we provide them skills, sir, so that they can do other skilled jobs and earn even more? I agree that the Government of India has started the project Unnati, but many states are not showing any interest in skilling Narega workers. Why is the question, sir? What are the reasons behind this? Secondly, the government targeted to give skill training to 20% of Narega workers who completed 100 days of unskilled work in 2020-21. But only a few thousand have been given skill training in 2021, sir. If there are any issues, I request the Honourable Finance Minister and the Rural Development Minister to convince the states for skilling Narega workers. And if there is any additional incentives to be paid to the workers, the Honourable FM can please consider it, because in the long run, there will be less pressure on resources under Narega if we are able to skill our workforce and move them away into real jobs, sir, as they will get more money elsewhere using their newly acquired skills. I'm just 2 minutes, sir. The next point I wish to make is relating to the figure fixed in the budget about expenditure. It was proposed in the budget 2022-23 to spend 39.4 lakh crores when compared to 37.7 lakh crores in 21-22. But if one looks at the expenditure in the first 3 quarters and anticipated expenditure in the last quarter of this fiscal, there's every likelihood of crossing the budgeted figures. It means it is going to breach the fiscal deficit target of 6.4%. Even though we have better GST collections, and we've got about 1.4 lakh crore collections 9 months in a row now, I wish to know to what extent will this help in keeping the fiscal deficit at 6.4%, because the expenditure may breach by around 1 lakh crores this fiscal year. I wish the Honourable Finance Minister to please shed some light on this. Sir, the Honourable Finance Minister, I'm concluding, sir, I'm on the last page. Sir, the Honourable Finance Minister is also proposing to spend about 10% of demands for capital expenditure in railways, roads and under other heads. Here I wish to point out, and I'm sure the Honourable Finance Minister will also agree with me, that the pace of public capex has come down. I'll just finish in a minute, sir. If one looks at the budget papers, it was proposed to spend 35% higher, which was about 3% of GDP, at 7.5 lakh crores as capital expenditure for 2022-23. But public capex is not picking up. I wish to know the reasons behind this from the Honourable Minister. Moreover, sir, the Honourable Finance Minister in her budget speech at para number 113 allocated 1 lakh crores to states for capital investment. The Finance Ministry approved 58,200 crores under Part 1, but released only 26,300 crores. Under Part 2, 898 crores has been released, and another part, Ministry has approved and released 1,200 crores. Sir, we're at the fag end of the third quarter, and not even 30% was announced in the budget. So I'll just complete the conclusion. I'm coming to conclusion, sir.
More than your allotted time.
I'll just complete the conclusion, sir. There's no doubt that it is a big challenge for India to sustain high growth rate and lift millions out of poverty. And unemployment is the biggest challenge that we are facing today. Sir, around 12 million people are joining the labour force every year, but we're not able to generate jobs for even half of them. The labour force participation rate dropped from 40% from 46% 6 years ago, and the unemployment rate is hovering at 7 to 8%. The point I wish to make is it is very rare to find GDP is going up while employment is dwindling. And I think that India is one of the few countries where GDP is growing, but employment is falling. This is called jobless growth, sir. I wish the Honourable Finance Minister to please throw some light on this. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, sir.